I want to talk about a case that came through the GP peer support network that illustrates some of the common themes we see in these type of cases. The GP was going through a hard time in their own personal life. They'd had an episode of depression that had been compounded by the fact that they had a family bereavement. And some of the GP's family members noticed that they had become somewhat withdrawn. We have to remember that these kind of matters that happen to everyone not only affect our personal safety and affect us personally, they also impact on our professional safety. And regretfully, the GP became the subject of a complaint from a family in relation to a patient that had sadly died, and the essence of that complaint was that there had been a delay in diagnosis of cancer. The complaint was directed to NHS England, and in the context of their investigation of the complaint, one of the issues that had been highlighted was that there'd been an issue in relation to record keeping. As a consequence, the GP had undergone a record keeping review, which had highlighted concerns in relation to their record keeping. The outcome of the NHS England investigation was that there was to be a period of educational supervision that took the form of conditions. The GP simply didn't know where to turn. Thankfully, the GP was able to connect with one of our peer supporters through the GP professional support network. The first thing that the peer supporter was able to do was simply to listen. And the GP was able to explain what had happened. The GP hadn't sought any professional help to this day, at this stage, so had been managing these matters on their own. After listening to what the GP had to say, which is, of course, is very therapeutic in itself, the peer supporter was able to guide the GP in relation to the nature of the NHS England investigation process and what may happen next, what would be expected of the GP. Then the peer supporter was able to connect the GP with some relevant services. The first one of which was the practitioner health programme. So the GP was able to access care via practitioner health. One of the things that was important in this case, they felt reluctant to consult their own GP about these matters. The peer supporter also recommended and connected the GP to the GP support team, where the case was allocated to one of our medical directors, all of whom are very experienced in dealing with the NHS England processes. The GP also felt that they would benefit from speaking to someone about the issues they were facing, and the peer supporter directed the GP to the talking therapy offer that's available through the GP professional support network. One of the roles of the peer supporter is to connect our constituent GPs with services that are available to support them. There are actually quite a lot out there, but sometimes it's just knowing where to turn. Finally, the peer supporter was able to make intermittent contact with the GP throughout the process. I'm delighted to say that with some considerable assistance from one of my medical director colleagues, the NHS England conditions have now been lifted and the GP has returned to unrestricted practice.